welcome to my channel Makeup and Tea Time. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe and like and comment below. So let's jump right in. So St. Mary's, the Woolpack Inn, was a heritage building. So the building has an association with the Hackett family. We're a pioneer family, added strong connections to the St. Mary area with all their generations of their family. So James Hackett of the family was a butcher, an entrepreneur and an innkeeper. So the location of the Woolpack Inn has a great significance as it is on the Great Western Highway, which was one of the major routes on the road in those times. So the history of this place begins back in 1826 when James Hackett was convicted of a crime in his own country and elected to move to Australia as a convict. When James moved to Australia, he took up working at a mansion called the Regentville. In 1835, Hackett won his ticket out, so he actually started at the township of Penrith. So in England, he originally worked as a butcher, as a family trade. In 1840, he bought some land in St. Mary's. One was right beside South Creek, and he actually built his first home there. So the house was a single story, 6 bedrooms and a massive veranda. So when you go on there's only one remaining building, but they do believe that there was many other buildings on the property. So as this inn was only meters away from the Great Western Highway, lots of traffic kept coming there, so he decided to actually extend it to 9 rooms and he decided to call it the Woolpack Inn. So it was actually a inn as it states, but then it actually also was a butcher at one point. It was a major route for most of the travellers there. There was lots of people that would come in and drop in. Most people by horse and cart would actually stop in through as they were going through the area. So in 1860 the railway was built, which meant that people weren't going there all the time, so business started to fail. 3 years after this, it kept being rebuilt and then floods would come and it would get damaged again, so then they kept rebuilding it and then another flood would come. So when it came to this, he decided in 1874 that he was actually going to stop trading and stop the entire Woolpack Inn. He actually resided in this property for a while. In 1897 he passed away sadly, and this was actually passed down through the family into the 1920s. The property continued to change hands, and then in the 1980s it was commissioned to the New South Wales Planning and Environment Commission. So when I went, there was lots of rubble, there was only like a couple buildings and a few rooms there. It even had a Ouija board there, which I've got a video for you guys so you can see what I mean. Also a skeleton as well up the top. I don't know how they got it up there, but yeah, pretty creepy. It was daytime when we went, so it wasn't too bad. There wasn't too much to look around and the grass was pretty high, but otherwise it was actually pretty cool for my first time exploring, so I definitely recommend it to anyone who's a first timer as well.
Yeah, put it all back together. Take a photo. What do you get from this side? You get right. Like, we were gonna say phones, but you know, each to their own, I guess.
Quite recently.
That's good.
So I've got a pretty good idea of where this cake place is and things, which is basically straight along this road.
So location number 2 was the former Denny's restaurant and the Keg. So in the 80s, Denny's restaurant opened in Penrith. The Denny's chain of restaurants were actually brought out by a UK brewing company in 1989 and over time were branded as the Keg. So the idea was to open another 70 restaurants in Australia, but by the end of 1995, with only 16 restaurants established, the restaurant closed and the brand disappeared from Penrith. A number of other businesses actually tried to put their business in that location and they all failed. So the derelict property was actually sold a few years ago and now it's actually waiting redevelopment of the site. So this location's actually about 800 meters away from the Penrith train station and right next to all the shops in the commercial district of Penrith. Basically, the intention of this building now is being redeveloped. What they want to do is have it about 34 stories high, which is literally so big, contain 445 apartments and a 100-room hotel. So it's a pretty big block. Redevelopment plans are massive. They also want the ground floor to be like a commercial space for businesses to obviously put their business there. I guess it's just up to the people of Penrith if they want that there. So for us, when we went there, we literally just walked in. It was all open, everything was open, it was complete daytime. Went in, it was actually really cool. There was lots of graffiti that looked really cool on the walls. It was quite big, obviously bigger than the Woolpack Inn. I really enjoyed going into it, and again, I think it would have been a really cool explore for anyone who's just starting out and who just wants to look at buildings, you know, that are definitely derelict. You'll be able to see that I've actually put a picture of the original building when it was the keg below.
Yeah, it's actually quite nice. Ham from Estrada. Good. Fries.
It definitely looks like an old bar type thing.
Yeah, it's not catering from what I can tell.
Yeah.
Right, look at that tiny right here.
There's my kitchen. Oh my god, now it's gone.
Oh, nice!
Sure, I don't know my camera on my phone camera. I cannot see them.
Just watch it.
Yeah. Wow, pretty big though.
Amazing how ripped this out.
What is that?
Yeah, there'd be a lot of copper in there. Another squatter spot.
So it's just a bathroom.
Male and females and that one too, probably not. That's right, mate.
It's not too crazy big, but it's pretty good. Might take some time for that.
Once again, right across the road from the Cedit courthouse. 2 blocks away from the top shop.
Well, I don't think anyone really cares.
That led up into the roof. Well, that's what they had, like, you were going to put insulation in or work on the ducting back when the building was working, that's what we were doing for it. As you can see, it's really knocked out now.
Yeah. Pretty.
They're taking the ceiling out because they're ripping out all the wiring. There's copper in there.
So they just, yeah, ring.
Well, I'm not going to say that the companies do that. That's more like anybody.
Anybody, yeah, didn't top up.
Yeah. Top up us. And the building is big, so houses are crazy. Sam if it tells us where we are. They said that we're across the road from the courthouse, so we're right here right now.
Location number 3. Location 3 was Mount Universe, which is actually located in Campbelltown, called the Universal Powerhouse, or Saturn's Rings. Sits on a high hill in Escol Park. So this building was actually built by a Polish immigrant named Stefan Wanik. Construction began around 1969 and continued for years and years after. At that time, the mansion was actually considered as one of the most spectacular mansions in the area. So the plans for the mansion by Stefan had plans for it to be a Mecca worldwide movement towards a better life. It was intended to be his home for his family and the powerhouse of his proposed Universal Power World Society. So the unique design was actually based off Saturn's rings. So the largest top level was intended for the family to use, and the 2 bottom levels were for the society. We actually wrote a book around the time of the construction of the mansion called the Universal Life Challenge. Discussed the aims and objectives of the society, such as engaging in cultural and sporting activities and promotion of truth, love and peace. So unfortunately this building was never completed, and people who would see it would think that it's actually a casino on the hill due to the size and the rings. Apparently Stefan is actually moved down to the far south coast, and we do believe that there are actually new owners and people that are in the property. I did see a lot of comments with people saying that they used to visit it when they were younger because they obviously lived around the area. I also did see someone say that a woman jumped off the building, but again that could just be a legend basically. So our experience, we didn't actually get to go inside, which was so upsetting because it looked amazing. So hopefully one day we'll be able to. What happened was we got out, my friend went through the gate and up to the second gate, and when he got to the second gate there was actually 6 German Shepherd dogs that he was met with, and he just asked, you know, there's people that would like to see the place, is that okay? And the owners basically yelled at us and told us that they were going to call the police. So our friend runs back to us and then we literally left after that. But honestly I would love to go in this mansion, and I guess if there's any way that we can, if we can talk to the owners or anything like that, just to be able to get a look at it, absolutely. So we're going to keep our eye out for that one. I have included some footage from a drone, which isn't mine, credited below, and I'm going to add it into here for you guys as well. And I've got some pictures of it which Sky High did, and they are literally amazing, so you guys will be able to at least see what the outside looks like. We weren't able to see that, but it's absolutely amazing and I would definitely love to go here one time. So with that being said, I will see you guys for another video next week, which is going to be another makeup video.
Minutes, I'll call you back when they come, or I'll just come back down.
Yeah, okay.
Okay?
Cool.
Just stay on the line so I don't fucking dock you. Hey mate, hey, I've got a couple of people here that wouldn't mind having a look if we're allowed to. No problems, man, I'll wait now. Yeah, no, he's gonna call the cops. I'm out.
Yeah, I told you.
So that's all for now guys, bye!
Hi guys, and welcome to Makeup and Tea Time. So St. Mary's, lots of traffic keep coming there, lots of traffic, was the former Denny's restaurant in Penrith. So in the mid-80s, the restaurant, UK brewing company and it's called the Universal,
Yeah.